The American Bulldog is a jack of all trades capable of guarding a home, driving and guarding livestock, hunting dangerous animals and destroying feral dogs that have become a disaster for poultry and sheep farmers in the southern states. In addition, individual American Bulldogs have performed well in the pit ring, but such use is not welcomed by breeders and has not become widespread. The owners of these dogs claim that they easily take the barrier of 2.5 meters high and are able to turn on the square inch. In addition to the excellent apparatus of movement, these versatile athletes have iron jaws and good health. On farms they often live up to 16 years and, even at an advanced age, are able to knock down a bull and do not lose activity and efficiency. Farmers often use their dogs to hunt possum, feral pig, bear and puma. Anger and fearlessness are necessary to fight packs of wild dogs. This is a dangerous job, as the bulldog is forced to fight alone, often without human assistance, against many opponents at once, and must win or die. High fighting qualities gave rise to rumors about the wild temper and increased danger of the breed, but those who are familiar with it unanimously note a very attractive temperament for the owner. Highlights and interesting facts. The very first mention of this breed of dog is subsidized in 1632. A letter has been preserved asking to send several bulldogs from London to America. Initially, the American Bulldog breed served only for entertainment, taking part in bloody fights in the ring with bulls and other large animals. Due to the fact that bulldogs quite often dominated such bullying, fights arose even with bears and monkeys. Catherine I herself was not a rare spectator of such bloody and spectacular shows. The American Bulldog has been given the title of fighter to the death more than once. The name American Bulldog only took hold at the end of the 20th century. Before that the dogs had such nicknames as the White Englishman, the English Blonde and the Southern Bulldog. To win in unequal battles with ferocious animals, the bulldog was helped not only by his powerful body and excellent physical fitness, but also by his developed intellect and mental abilities. Many scientists also believe that the Amble is much smarter than the Caucasian Shepherd dog, Rottweiler, and Mastiff. Dogs of this breed have a unique fearlessness and a strong nervous system. A case is known when American Bulldogs protected their owners from a house fire, trying without absolute fear to fight the flame, considering it an enemy. Despite all the complexity of the character and formidable features, American Bulldogs are popular all over the world. They have become the favorites of many Hollywood stars such as singer Pink, actor George Clooney, Adam Sandler, David Beckham, Kelly Osbourne, Charlize Theron, fashion designer Ben DeLisi, and many other public and famous people. The history of the breed. The American Bulldog appeared in America at the beginning of the 18th century. Settlers in the New World often brought bulldogs with them, wanting to have a reliable four-legged protector, able to share with the owner all the hardships in the Wild West. The colonists did not arrange exhibitions, did not keep pedigree books. They raised dogs on their own and rightly took the presence of a working bulldog on farms and ranches as a matter of course. Several generations of rural residents of the American South have bred dogs of this breed exclusively for utilitarian purposes, without attracting the attention of cynologists. This tradition is reflected in one of the names by which the dog is known among farmers, the Old Rural Bulldog. The first to look at these powerful and compact dogs were the organizers of dog fights and collectors of fighting dogs, who expanded the search for new gladiators in the 1910s and 1920s. Between breed promoters and hereditary breeders there is no unanimity in views on the origin of the Old Rural Bulldog. This is explained by the abundance of local types that have arisen due to the isolation of breeding centers, the inbreeding of factory lines and the lack of coordinated breeding work with livestock. Some conformation differences, specific to those from the oldest large kennels, have prompted the authors of books and popular articles to put forward the theory that the American Bulldog was bred by crossing old working dogs with a modern English Bulldog and Bullmastiff. This view is vigorously refuted by traditional breeders. The most active supporter of the purity and antiquity of the origin of the old white bulldog is John D. Johnson from Somerville, the oldest and most famous breeder of the breed in the USA and other countries, the author of the official standard. The U.S. Marine Corps has adopted the American Bulldog as its mascot. A few years ago, he was first successfully shown at a dog show, although he had never shown before. Appearance. American Bulldog. This is a medium-sized dog. Height at the withers of males from 51 centimeters with a weight of 37 kilograms, bitches from 42 centimeters and weight up to 26 kilograms. The head is large, square in front, with wide cheekbones and massive jaws. The transition from the forehead to the muzzle is pronounced. The muzzle is short to medium in length, square, and the lips are pendulous. Bite, a snack with a small waist. The ears are of medium size, lying on the sides of the skull, rounded, allowed slightly raised. The neck is short and powerful. The chest is deep and wide. Shoulders are powerful. The tail is of medium length, carried down, reaching to the hock. The coat is short and smooth. Colors, any combination of white and yellow, brindle markings are acceptable. Distinctive character traits. The American Bulldog has been a friend and helper for centuries, sensitive to the will of the owner, so it is genetically programmed for devotion and obedience. There are legends about his reliability and courage, many of which are not without real grounds. In addition to their unique loyalty and self-sacrifice, for the sake of the owner, bulldogs get along very well with children, are polite and intelligent, perfectly trainable and prone to discipline. If necessary, they act on the basis of the situation and without a command, possessing an innate desire to please the owner, stop unwanted actions at the slightest disapproval on his part. They are not dangerous for strangers outside the protected area, they remember friends at home, they are loyal to them, and other relatives of the owner. It is no coincidence that a saying arose among breed lovers: bulldog is real devotion, real dependability, real love. Recently, more and more American bulldogs began to appear in the show rings, but still it is a working dog. Speaking about the character of the American Bull Terrier, it must be remembered that the distant relatives of this animal were aggressive fighting dogs that could even bite a bull. Superiority over others and leadership is in their blood, so before you get such a dog, you need to think about whether you yourself have enough stamina and fortitude to raise an ambulance and gain respect for yourself. The American Bulldog is unlikely to tolerate competition in the form of another animal, indicating its superiority. It can easily get into a fight. But with proper upbringing, which must be started almost from the first days of a dog's life, waywardness and stubbornness can be replaced by devotion and complaisance. Amble is condescending to those who are weaker than him, he is under no circumstances able to offend a child or a small dog. The American Bulldog has a special and reverent attitude towards children, even if the child tortures the dog, the bulldog will patiently endure all children's games. He can even stand up for the child if adults punish the baby in some way. The dog well distinguishes the degree of real threat, nothing can distract him from protecting you and your home. Protecting your own is in their blood, which is why bulldogs are ideal guards. Controlling the situation at the slightest threat, the American Bulldog immediately builds a further plan of action. But if you are not confident in yourself and in the firmness of your character, you should not get such a dog, since the American Bulldog, like no one else, feels the weakness of the opponent, and no matter how hard you try, you will not earn authority. And since this is a strong enough dog, with possible aggressive tendencies, not having control over it can lead to serious trouble. Pros and cons of American Bulldogs. Pros. Loyalty and selflessness. This is a faithful dog, ready to protect its owners, even at the cost of its life. Reliability. This is the perfect home guard, instantly recognizing potential danger to his family. Fearlessness. Like his ancestors, the Amble is ready to fight with any enemy, even if they are not equal. Honesty and fast learner. These are well-known hard workers, well-trained, trying to be as useful as possible for their master. Developed intellect. They have a special ingenuity, they are well and quickly oriented in any situation. They react with lightning speed to what is happening. High excitability threshold, low pain threshold. The American Bulldog will never show aggression for no reason, or just bark without good reason. Minuses. Stubbornness. The desire to dominate these dogs is in the blood, so only with the right approach and daily training can you find an approach to the American Bulldog. Unpredictability in behavior. Because of the desire to lead in everything, the Amble can abruptly rush into a fight with other animals, proving his superiority. High salivation and constant shedding. Causes some inconvenience for the owners and requires more careful care of their pet. Loud snoring. Due to the special structure of the muzzle, shortened nose and elongated palate, the nostrils impede the movement of air, thereby causing snoring, which is completely normal for representatives of this breed. Many experts and professional cynologists still do not recommend choosing an American Bulldog as the first dog. However, if you are ready to face all the difficulties and difficult nature of the dog, the Amble will become your best and devoted friend for life. Maintenance and care. In order for cohabitation with a beloved pet not to cause any trouble and discomfort to the owner or the dog, it is necessary to strictly adhere to all the rules and conditions for keeping the ambulance. First of all, it must be remembered that dogs of this breed, like no one else, need constant physical activity, active games and constant walking on the street. Otherwise, the dog will simply have nowhere to splash out its howling energy and strength, which can lead to damage to furniture and other property. In the warm season, it is better to walk the dog in the morning and evening, as the heat has a detrimental effect on him, overheating or sunstroke is possible. In the winter and cold months of the year, it is recommended to warm the pet because of its short coat. During the walk, the dog must be involved in some kind of game or the execution of clear commands. Active joint games not only train, but also bring the dog closer to its owner. So the hair of the amble sheds all year round, and a special molt occurs twice a year. Rubber gloves or a brush and a special shampoo will be required to care for it. By combing it 3 to 4 times a week, you can avoid the inconvenience associated with its coat. The dog does not need frequent bathing, they are contraindicated for him. Therefore, bathing is carried out as needed. It is enough to wash the paws after a walk and wipe it with a damp towel. It is especially necessary to pay attention to the folds on the face, where bacteria accumulate, which can cause serious illness. In order for abundant salivation not to cause much trouble to the owners, it is necessary to often remove the remnants of saliva at the corners of the lips. Also, the American Bulldog suffers from excessive lacrimation, so it is also necessary to constantly wipe the lacrimal ducts with special products. Regular examination of the ears will prevent and help identify inflammatory processes in the early stages. If necessary, the claws must be trimmed with special nail cutters, but most often the amble combs them during daily walks. Health. American Bulldogs generally live from 10 to 16 years and tend to be strong, physically active, and often healthy. Some health problems in American Bulldogs are often found within certain genetic lines and are not common to the entire breed, while others, such as neuronal ceroid lipofuscinosis, ichthyosis, disorders of the kidney and thyroid, ACL tears, hip dysplasia, cherry eye, elbow dysplasia, entropion, ectropion, and bone cancer are more common to the general population of American Bulldogs. There are DNA tests available to help breeders screen breeding animals for NCL neuronal ceroid lipofuscinosis and ichthyosis. A PennHIP Pennsylvania Hip Improvement Project or Orthopedic Foundation for Animal Screening is recommended for all potential breeding animals. Some American Bulldogs are prone to allergies. Due to the ideal of beauty regarding the shape of the face, the skull malformation brachycephaly was increased by breeding selection. Price and how to buy. Depending on the purpose of the purchase, the cost of the puppy will differ. Offspring without the possibility of exhibition and further breeding costs from $1,000. If there are plans for future puppies as parents, then the price increases by 2 to 3 times. Show-class puppies are even more expensive, and the price depends on the pedigree and what prizes were received by the parents of the puppies at various exhibitions. If you are looking for a show-class puppy, then you need to contact the breeders registered in the Unified International Register of Breeders, where there is a guarantee of pure blood. In this case, a contract of sale must be signed, where all the circumstances are prescribed, in order to avoid misunderstandings. Buying a puppy in unreliable places is a huge risk of getting a dog similar to American Bulldog, but not being it. While the dog is small, it is difficult to understand how the puppy meets the requirements. Outcome. The American Bulldog is a breed of dog known since the end of the 19th century. The American Bulldog is one of the closest, almost intact relatives of the Old English Bulldog. After the appearance on American soil, the breed was used for its intended purpose and did not undergo such changes as in Europe. Breeding trends for the American Bulldog have changed over time. He was called Bulldog, Country Bulldog, Old English White, and today, American Bulldog. Throughout this time, the breed has been used for a variety of uses, and its structure and temperament accordingly reflect such differences.